We pledge love and loyalty to the country salute. Now here we there, here we born. We sweet salute. We not for make this country fall. Mama salute. We let we salute. But this we land we love. We not for make them fall. We let we salute. Then they thief the money, then they fly. They London, they Dubai, then they buy. We there, we just a try. This year don't come up and dry. Then they thief the money, then they fly. They London, they Dubai, then they buy. We there, we just a try. But this year don't come up and dry. We pledge with love and loyalty to the country salute. Now here we there, now here we born. We sweet salute. We not for make this country fall. Mama salute. We let we salute. But this we land we love. We not for make them fall. We let we salute. But this we land we love. We not for make them fall. We salute.
For the wreck the country, for the wreck the country. It's a witch. For the wreck the country, for the wreck the country. I guess I carpets, Gama Keraka, Gama Koneka, Gama Keraka, Chamucham, Gama Honika, Kaipom, Gama Koneka, for the wreck the country, for the wreck the country. It's a witch. For the wreck the country, for the wreck the country. And they go and they beg. Then come and shake. The people that they gen. Then Hagawa shem. They make me go to chicken and the picture. Now we hope for today and the future. And the future forgive them by scripture. They make me go to chicken and the picture. Now we hope for today and the future. And we hope to forgive them by scripture.
Pledge love and loyalty to the country salute. Now here we there, now here we born. We sweet salute. We not for make this country fall. Mama salute. We let we salute. But this we land we love. We not for make them fall. We let we salute.
We salute. I said no place like home. I like it, I can talk to me, I like it, I can fight them.
Yes. Sure, there's no place like home. But where is home and how is home? Good evening, good morning, good day, good afternoon. From now on, it's time we wake up and begin to use the awareness that will give us the abilities as individuals and as a collective to develop our homelands. A lot is happening around the world, a lot. And it's time those of us who are from the continent known as Kemet, Africa, begin to wake up. We've been sleeping for centuries. It's time we wake up. We have everything that we need to develop ourselves. But because we've decided to take a break and sleep, we've gone so deep into the slumber that today we are being asked in an indirect way that we should wake up. Take a look at what is happening globally. You would know we are being asked to wake up. We allowed ourselves over centuries to be dominated, not because we are stupid, but because we decided to believe in what was brought to us and forget about who we are. We decided to accept knowledge that we have not been able to master as I speak. With everything that is going on, it will be in our best interest to go back and examine who we are, what we are, and why we are. And so therefore today, and from now on, I'll be looking at issues, not in terms of who did what. We can blame everybody we want to blame. We can even blame God if we care to. But that will change nothing. It's time we begin to look at the root of what is going wrong with us. It is time we begin to examine that part of us that we think is external, which as a matter of fact is part of us, and which is what we manifest in our daily actions. Politics, or whatever was introduced to us as politics, seem to have become a preoccupation for Africans, such that we have tailored everything to fit that domain. Most of the courses we offer, most of the education we get, the way we think, the way we act, it's all around that colonized syndrome that we call politics. It's a syndrome. It's something created to control us. It is something we can use for good, but we have been misusing and abusing it, especially in Sierra Leone. Power, or what we produce when we give certain legitimacies to individuals that, okay, you lead us, control the affairs of the state, do what will make things change, which we call power, is grossly misunderstood by most of us. We think having power makes you a superior being to the rest of mankind. No, it doesn't. It makes you somebody that is trusted. It makes you somebody who the majority believe holds certain abilities, holds certain qualities that will allow everybody to stay together, work together, and live together. Well, what have we seen in Africa, and especially in Sierra Leone, is the reverse of these qualities. power has become the nemesis of the people, because we aspire for power not because we want to bring people together, but because we want to bring people apart so that we can benefit. Of course, we can discuss and argue. We can deliberate on this for as much as we want. But in the final analysis, power without people is powerless. People without leadership are powerless. It goes both ways. Power without people is powerless. People without leadership, unto whom power is reposed, is also a powerless group of people, because they are exposed to a lot of ills. There will be nobody to guide them. There will be no group of people to determine what can provide the best security for the group. And security here does not only mean physical security, it can even mean economic security, health security, educational security, etc., etc. This is the very root and the essence of having government. Government is an institution of people within a society who are given power to man and control the affairs of the group of people. But when that is misused or overted into personal gains, when that is misused or overted into specific gains, then that power becomes troublesome. If I could put it simply, it becomes troublesome. And what we've seen in most parts of Africa, and especially Sierra Leone, over the last 60 and more years, is that power is the root of all evils. It's just like money. People think, oh, money is the root of... No, money is not the root of all evils. Power is not the root of all evils. It's the application, the intent, and purpose behind the use of these two that makes them good or makes them evil. What am I saying? When a group of people, a social group, decide that, okay, for our common benefit, let us have people leading us. What they are saying, in effect, is we give you access to everything that you need. We give you control over everything that you need, so that you'll give back to us what we need as individuals for us to function in safety and in goodwill. This is not the way we understand power in Africa. This is not the way we understand power in Sierra Leone. But there is a reason for that. And that reason, we have never taken time out to investigate. We've never taken time out to research. And we don't even discuss it. All the time we talk about this does that, that does this, APC doing that, SLPP doing that, BO doing that, Kuroma doing that. Yes, we can complain, we blame until thy kingdom come. But if the factors, the root causes are there, and we don't address them, we will continue to see the same thing, and it will get worse. It will get worse. Habits. When once they continue to repeat and become socially convenient, these habits become cultures. So today, let us look at the political culture of Sierra Leone. Let us look at maybe Sierra Leone will be a case study for us to look at the political culture in Africa. Let us discuss, investigate, and examine, because what I'm starting today will be a series of investigative analysis with the intent of giving us a platform to understand why we're doing things wrong, even though we think we want to do it right. Like Albert Einstein said, doing the same thing, expecting different outcomes. That's what we're doing. But what is the root cause of it? The root cause of it is that the political culture is not a partisan culture. Let us get it clear. It's not about what the APC does or what the SLPP does. Both of them do the same thing, only that they do it differently. Both of them do the same thing, but they do it differently. Both of them apply the same psychology, but they do it differently. And of course, whilst they would try to apply these two or whatever psychologies they have, there is a lot of elements of misuse and abuse of power. So let us stop talking about who does what. And for those of you who think you want to run for presidency, stop telling the people that you can do it better. You don't know. You don't know. You don't. If you know, you would understand what I'm saying today. And if you think you have the chances, you have the moral and emotional capacity, listen to what I'm saying carefully today. If you care to call me and ask questions, let us discuss it. Because, as I said in the beginning, a lot of changes are taking place in the world. We have to begin to take ourselves seriously in Africa. We have to begin to close the ranks of division in Africa. Otherwise, sooner or later, we are going to be victims, worse than the victim we suffered during the 400 and more years of slave trade. We have to get serious. We have to put down that guard of ego. We have to put down that perception and supposition that, oh, I am right, the others are wrong. We are all wrong. We have always been wrong. If we were not wrong, our continent will not be as it is today. Let us stop blaming and pointing fingers. We've done that for so long that how much of it has helped us, if we can ask? How much of blaming Europe for slave trade has helped us? How much of blaming SLPP and APC has helped us. It's time we change the energies. It's time we change the tune. It's time we look inward. It's time we awaken, we remember what was lost. There is a cultural gap that we need to fill. And for us to fill that cultural gap, we have to move away from the present modus operandi. That of playing crybabies, blaming, complaining, cursing, and fighting. That's not going to help anyone. Let us go down history lane. Let us go down our anthropological lane. Let us go down our sociological lane. Because that's where we will find the answer to our problems. First and foremost, let us take cognizance of one fact. Whatever we are today is not our natural person. I'll repeat this. Whatever we are today is not our natural person. Not because somebody tampered with our physical being, but because somebody or some set of people over centuries had infused ideas into us that has made us forget about who we are. But still, who we are is part of our DNA. It is in us. It is our epigenetic. It is with us. We practice some of what we are without knowing that this is what we are. At a point in time, when we were exposed to Holocaust, we became so confused that we lost trust in each other. Because of this loss of trust, violence, impunity, hegemony, etc., came into the matrix. Today, these are part of the cultural practices that we have. Cultural, not in terms of how we want to interact with each other, but cultural in terms of when we want to take or control power. The political culture that we have has been infused with a lot of elements that are not our natural self. I'm sorry I've been too bookish today, but I have to go down some of these lanes to explain what I want to explain. The political culture that we practice in Sierra Leone is more of self-centered use of impunity and clannish, protectionist. And this is the very root of all the problems we have, because when such a culture exists within any social environment, instead of inclusivity, people coming together, there is exclusivity. People form clans and gangs and cliques because they think that's the way they should go to protect their personal interests. Yes, there's nothing wrong about it. Nothing wrong about it. But when such practices become overbearing, and especially so when it is manifested in the holistic picture of power management, then it becomes dangerous for the people. And that's exactly what we have in Sierra Leone. For us to understand this, let us go back a little bit into our history. From the 10th century downwards, contact with the first foreign elements from Arabia, Northern Africa, etc. started. Then trade, impunity, etc. started. The first set of slave trade started around that time. This forced certain people to flee or migrate from the more open Sahelian or savanna area down into the forested area. These people, because of the thick forest at that time, and also because of the level of technological development of that time, lived in small groups that were more like clans. You take a radius, small groups exist, they communicated with each other, they had a set of people to protect them, they had a protection mechanism. That was all they knew. So the world was around that radius. Then came the period when people that they did not know started raiding them, taking their children, their wives, their brothers, their sisters away. This was the period of the transatlantic slave trade. Mistrust came in. The need for more protection came in. Then the dynamics of power changed at that time. It became more of a protectionist power dynamics. Then suddenly, without notice to these same people, a decision was made thousands of miles away in Berlin to divide the continent into what we have today as 54 more political entities. That Berlin decision did not take into consideration the social, nor even the political dynamics of the people that they were dividing. According to a writer, Martin Meredith, who is a journalist who has written so much about Africa because he has spent over half of his life traveling all over Africa as a journalist. According to Meredith, there were 10,000 organized political entities in Africa before the Berlin Conference. Nothing about that was taken into consideration, and the continent was divided based on lines of latitudes, river banks, etc., into what we have today as countries. Then a major crisis was created. Some political entities were divided. Political entities that were not at par with each other became amalgamated. And this is what we have today. Okay, well and good. That's a problem. That's a challenge. But since we say we've had independence, have we had time to sit down and ask the necessary questions? Have we had time to sit down and do the necessary research for us to find lasting and sustainable solution to what we have now? Instead of doing that, We've decided to look at a bigger picture, United States of Africa. You cannot unite a house when the children are quarreling amongst each other. You cannot. It's not possible. If you want to unite a house, go into each room, see how the children live with each other in each room, make them understand the need for them to be together before you can come out and say, okay, now that all the rooms are united, can we have peace in the house? You see, one of the worst things of colonialism is that it made us believe and depend on principles that we don't understand. It made us believe and depend on principles that we cannot practice because we don't know how to practice them. We want to find answers, but we don't have the attitude of inquiry. We want to get it right, but we don't have the attitude of respecting processes. Instead, we're always looking for quick fix. And this is part of the major crisis we have. Let us look at Sierra Leone. Since migration started in the 10th century, when the Almoravid Empire was established, from Senegambia upwards into Europe, southern Europe, the Iberian Peninsula, a kind of political dynamics was introduced that provided a new modus operandi to what obtained before. Let us get it clear. Before the Almoravid came in, or the Arabs or Berbers came in, there was organized government in the Senegambia region that extended as far as Mali and Niger. That was the Wangara, or what is called in history Ghana Empire. The people of Wangara had a way of organizing and ruling themselves based on moral authority, legitimacy to power, community care. That's the Mansa model of governance. Well, of course, humans as we are not perfect. A lot of things went wrong. Wangara collapsed. Ouagadougou collapsed. There was massive problems here and there. The Berbers or the Almoravids came in. People had to migrate into the forest for safety. And then things continued to get worse until after some time, a semi-crippled man, Sundata Keita, rose up and said, no, we've had enough of this. We cannot take this anymore. And that happened in the middle belt of West Africa, which saw the establishment of the Mali Empire. The Mali Empire rose with a culture of warrior leadership, as opposed to the Ghana or Wangara culture of moral authority, legitimacy, etc. So what do we have? When the Mali Empire rose up, a new power dynamic rose in West Africa. the one where the strongest takes power. Then Mali existed until the time of Mansa Musa, and things started collapsing. Of course, because of the warrior-like nature of Mali, it expanded all over West Africa. Mali even entered Sierra Leone, but a lot of people do not know this, because they think, oh, because of the map drawn by Europeans. No, Sierra Leone was part of Mali Empire. The people that we call Kono, they were brought into the forested region of Guinea, Sierra Leone, and northern Liberia by Tiramakan Traore, the general who expanded Mali Empire. He left them there, went north to Senegambia, and never came back. That's why they call themselves Kono. Wait for me, Makono. But they are Malians. They are people from the Mali Empire, not present-day European Mali. They are people from the Mali Empire. Mali Empire was part of Sierra Leone. And Mali Empire had a lot of influence of Sierra Leone, especially so after its collapse. People moved westward, seeking safety. They came with warlike attributes. They established themselves in parts of Sierra Leone. And so today, what we have at Sierra Leone is a mixture of two political dynamics. The Senegambian political dynamics and the center of West Africa political dynamics. As a matter of fact, these two dynamics have a name in Madingo. The people from the Senegambia, whose authority is based on hereditary, moral authority, legitimacy, etc., they have what you can call the Mansa leadership. They were the first to enter Sierra Leone. They had established for a longer time. They had introduced their style of leadership. As a matter of fact, most of what we call our ruling houses in Sierra Leone were established based on the Mansa leadership. Then came the warrior type leadership, which is called the farmer leadership. When this came, there were skirmishes here and there was grabbing here and there, etc., etc. But finally, they were able to settle. There was some influence here and there, and a kingdom was established called Koya. Koya Kingdom was established after the fall of Mali. By then, the Mansa leadership culture had been established before and was prevailing. Then, a third factor came into the mix. Europeans who were traveling all over the world with sailed ships, were coming to Sierra Leone. They came to Freetown. Freetown has long been known. Freetown has long been known, over 600 years ago, as a safe port, because Freetown is the only natural harbor in Africa. Those sailors who were going to South America or to the Caribbean, etc., they came to Freetown. All of those sailors you've read about in history, Vasco da Gama, Christopher Columbus, Vespucci, etc., they came to Freetown. Yes. They came. Because at the time when they were using sails, if it was rainy season in the middle or southern hemisphere, the sea will get rough and windy, so they had to stop to seek refuge. And Freetown was a safe haven because the port of Freetown saved their ships from heavy wind. So they would come, they will bath in Freetown, they'll be there in the seacoast area for months, awaiting calm weather. So what did this do? It instigated trade. People started moving from inland West Africa to Freetown to trade. This trade had its repercussions. The Mansa clan or group of people who lived basically in the northern part of Sierra Leone had a different modus operandi with traders who came. And the farmer had a different modus operandi. As a matter of fact, there were skirmishes between the two. There were trade wars, several trade wars. This is the third factor that influenced relations between people in what we call present-day Sierra Leone, Forested Guinea, and Liberia. These are some of the root issues that we see in modern times that we don't understand and which we misinterpret, we misrepresent as mere ethnocentrism. It is not ethnocentrism. It's deeper than ethnocentrism. You see, the danger we have as a people is that there are things happening amongst us that we are aware that this happened during the days of our forefathers, but we've never had time to research and find out why these things happened. In present-day Sierra Leone and some parts of Africa, we would use some of those things that had gone wrong between our forefathers for political gains. This is where we bring in polarization of our people. We polarize our people unnecessarily. Because in the case of Sierra Leone, for example, we are all from the same Malinke background, mostly. If we take a DNA test in Sierra Leone, we are going to realize that over 80% from all of the linguistic or so-called ethnic groups, over 80% have Malinke DNA. But because of the different political dynamics, the Mansa culture, which is found mostly in the northwest, the northwestern part of Sierra Leone, and some of it is in the eastern part of Sierra Leone, and the farmer culture, which is found mostly in the south and the east of Sierra Leone, mixed with the Mansa culture, These are what inform and affect our present-day political dynamics. Added to that, there had been grudges that have not been addressed during the time of these skirmishes, these trade wars. People will tell you, those people in that place did this to us. Those people in that place did that to us. But they will never tell you the root cause of it. We have not had time to sit down and ask, why is it that people of the same DNA fight with each other? Where did it come from? What kind of solutions can we find to this? Instead, we would use it in our ignorance and political intolerance to create new political conditions so that personally we will gain. This has been what the APC and SLPP had been doing over the last 60 and more years. If these two political parties are to continue in Sierra Leone, they have to set up and begin to foster institutions of tolerance, institutions of investigation and research, so that we know when you say Koroma from Bombali, how different is that Koroma from the Koroma from Pujao? Why are they different? Why do they think differently? One was brought up where there is Mansa, political culture. The other was brought up where there is Farmer, political culture. And they are the same people. The Jai in Pujao and the Jai in Karina, Binti, they are the same people. The Bundukas of Eastern Sierra Leone and the Bundus of Binti, they are the same people. Kamaras, they are all over Sierra Leone. They are the same people. But today, because of ignorance and political intolerance, we have created a situation that we are blindly destroying ourselves. And of course, we think we gain. We are not gaining anything, honestly. Honestly. If America is practicing polarization, they are gaining from it. Since Donald Trump took over, he has made billions of dollars. Show me one Sierra Leonean politician, minus doing drug peddling or sector, who has made money. None. Because we don't know what to do and how to do it. We are so full of ourselves. We think we are always right that we don't even accept when we do things wrongly. It's time we wake up from that slumber. And for you politicians, the sign is on the wall. There was a partial ban, now it has become fully effective to the United States. If you think these people are stupid, they are not stupid. They know what they're doing. They are tired. They are tired. There is poverty. There is hardship all over the world. They cannot afford the luxury of Africans and people from places where politicians are reckless migrating to their countries anymore. So now they are squeezing it tight. Can we wake up and understand that we need to be doing better now? Can we? Can we put aside all the grudge? Can we put aside all the vexation and begin to look at what needs to be done for us to stand together and work together as a people? And for those of you who think, oh, we can do better, then you don't even know who you are. So how can you do better? We have to stop talking nonsense. There's a lot of nonsense being said. It's nonsense because we don't even know the root of what we're saying. We only say it because it makes us feel good. It's time we wake up. It's time we move away from that psychological and social pettiness that is holding us back. If we don't, in the coming decades, we'll have a lot to regret. We'll have a lot to regret. Having talked about the leadership culture, let us look at some other social psychological factors that influence our political dynamics. The Madingo, a group of people that we are an inherent part of, have a kind of social psychology wherein they will create rivalry, not because they want to create a war, but it's a kind of competitive rivalry. That is what is called the Fadenia. Because we were introduced to that kind of rivalry and we didn't take time to understand it, in some parts of Sierra Leone, this is being misused and abused. Rivalry of ambition, rivalry of competing with people of your peer. Instead of us using it as creative forces, which if you look at Nigeria, you'll see that happening in the Nigerian society. They have this rivalry, but it's more like we compete to be better people, not compete to destroy each other. The Fadenia culture, it's all over the world. But in West Africa in particular, it's a celebrated modus operandi. The Timinis adopted it, and instead of using it for a creative purpose, it's now being used as a destructive instrument. They will talk about Faden. Owanga Fadenami. Fadenia is competition, rivalry. We rival so that we can each show our talents. We have taken it to mean, oh, that one should not prosper better than me. We are enemies. It's all over Sierra Leone. And that is one of the things that has even eaten into the political parties as I speak. The APC is almost defunct because of internal rivalries. The SLPP is about to start a mini war because of internal rivalries. You see, we claim to be educated in Sierra Leone, but honestly, we are nothing but a bundle of colonized ignoramus. We don't understand who we are. Sorry, I'm being insultive today. Sorry about that. We don't understand who we are. We claim to be educated. We think we know it all, but we don't even know who we are. We misuse and abuse who we are. And then we write nice English and speak. It's time we go back to our culture. It's time we research our culture. It's time we understand who we are. Development is not about borrowing somebody else's culture and technology. It's about modernizing your culture and your technology. If there are people in Falaba who are building bridges with rope and wood, they are the same engineers as the ones using steel and concrete to build suspension bridges. We have to go back and understand who we are. We have to stop being lame duck bookish rats and start being educated, culturally aware Africans. We've lost track of who we are. We can speak all the book we know, but as long as we don't understand the implications and applications of those principles in our culture, we are wasting time. Fadenia is a Malinke practice. The Timnis have adopted it and call it Faden. Malinke use it for competitive, healthy competitive rivalry. In Sierra Leone, it's the hallmark of negative rivalry, or one of adenami. It's all over Sierra Leone. It's unfortunate I have not been able to find the Mende word for it, but it exists in the Mende culture also. But I'll do, because I intend to continue with this train of thoughts in the coming days and weeks, because we need to wake up. If we don't wake up in Africa, they will wake us up, and maybe by the time we wake up, we'll be in the hereafter. Good evening, sir. Welcome, sir. Hello? Oh, I think I lost him. Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. Welcome. I thought you were online.
Well, yes, I was, but the problem is I'm in transit and my phone is not charged. I wanted to contribute, so I got a problem now.
Well, do what you can as fast as you can.
Yeah, so I would definitely, as soon as I go charge my phone, if it's possible, because I only have 17%. So now the problem that if you been guess everyone 30%, I don't, because it will turn off. I don't know. So how are you, sir?
Fine, sir.
Yeah, listen, I did follow up quite a bit the discussion about the leadership thing, you know. Yeah.
These are the issues we need to investigate. We need to understand why in the North, chieftaincy is about coming from a ruling house, hereditary, whereas in other parts it's pauper, farmer.
Well, like what I visited last time, what happened is that if we go as far back, you know, the tradition of kind of depriving other people from kind of benefiting in the leadership thing, they come all the way. Kind of figure a classical
it's
thing
from the time of Sunjata Keita of Mali.
Well, before that, well, we can go to we can go as far back and kind of studies when you think
Yeah,
about
yeah, we may have
a
reason
lot
to
of
go back to the Almoravids.
classical. Well, let's go to classical theorists.
Okay,
You know,
go ahead.
where they suggest say, okay, we can say, like, you get you know, the kings and all this monarchical stuff.
Mhm.
They go as far back as Adam and Eve, which
That's
kind
what
of
we are told, Doc.
Yeah, well, the thing is, so the question is how they come about for things say people from the daddy, they go to the pikin, they go. So then people are right, you know, like Lord Roberts, you know, one of the people, we people say, you get even people like Bentham and everybody, they question, they say dead and glorify, and also kind of try to maintain that aspect for say Adam and Eve, like a father, we be to say, you know, there is no law above the father in the household. Whatever the dad decides, that's what happened. And so they have that mentality, we be to say, even the mom not get right for question. And then when we go to the leadership, as far as the hereditary is concerned, they also believe, say, you know, now if the father don't go, the father, the prince, where they exist, all the kings there, then get their own authority from a divine something. And that where the power go, the beginning is somebody get to take over. That's the sort of mentality. And that's what in the traditional way in our African culture, that's what they support. And so it's very difficult because once it became a culture, the existence of the West for change that, now for them to exact their own way of life. But it's never went away. So
but the West also have that kind of culture.
Well, they have it because, yeah, of course.
They have it.
Of course.
They are kings all over Europe.
Well, what I say is they deprive, I mean, the people in Africa, like Musa William culturally. So
we deprived ourselves.
Well, no. Well, Mr. Jaro, at some point, if we look at there's been very extensive research and everything when it comes to warfare. And so there are cultures we to say the type of war where they fight is different from the type of war where the West can go. We make them succeed in enslaving the Africans.
That I will not argue.
Yeah, so for instance, if you look at when it comes to even the leadership, hereditary kind of leadership, when you go to the empires, so you find out, say, even servants at some point, they're able to hold responsible positions, right? Yeah. Like
slaves and children of slaves were given certain status after some time or for some reason.
That existed before the arrival of the MiG. So when they arrive now, there's been a change wherein they feel say you are subservient, and so you don't have any right. You understand? So that's not the thing down there. That's the issue. And so you find out say in the southeast of the country, because we don't really compromise the stability of Sierra Leone, is because their roots, the traditional cultural practices, and bring up, like, for instance, opposition. You dare not say anything against the chief at the southeast of the country. You're gone. You're going to be
good as dead.
Yeah, and if you take a look at the north, what happened to the chief now? I didn't call himself now. Lunsar, Dakublo. So when the mining company closed, and then find out, say, SLPP, and you don't do anything about it. So what happened? The young people, they rose. And then when they demonstrate, now you make them kill, some of them were killed. Now in the Southeast, you don't have that mind. So there's a more liberal sort of allowance we didn't give to the North. When you look at
the North get the Mansa culture. The Mansa culture
so I have
has a kind of moral authority.
So I get a question for you, sir.
Yes, sir.
So as we talk about this leadership thing, because to me, the conflict where there is for bring a traditional sort of way of life at the national level might be the problem. Because, for instance, we have a constitution that talks about freedom of expression, movements, and everything. But then there's no freedom of expression now. Whereas in the last administration, we had that. We don't have that right now.
The last administration had somebody from the Mansa political culture.
So how do you fix this problem, in your opinion?
You see, this is where we failed.
No,
I'm saying we, because at some level I was part of that Constitution Commission.
Okay.
And this is where most African countries fail also. We have never seen constitutions. Maybe Kenya tried to do it in 2008-10. We've never seen constitutions in Africa that had elements or sections addressing the cultural, the psychological, and sociological issues. You understand? A law is only a law when it is sociologically convenient. That word say ignorance of the law is no excuse. It's a British attitude to impose power on the people. If Africans are going to rule Africans peacefully, we have to have provisions that will ensure restraints of overuse and misuse of power, that will protect certain cultural and sociological interests.
Can I say something, sir?
Yes, sir.
So I know that we have a constitution, and the 1991.
But that constitution is basically American. It's not Sierra Leonean.
Let me just say, we have a 1991 constitution.
Yes.
Now, the constitution, it's an embodiment of everything that's kind of promote quality of life of the people.
Yes.
It's not just about the economic side of it, political, social, and everything. Socio-cultural. Because I don't think they have to include the term culture for you to know.
No, you don't have to include culture. You have to include something.
No way. Wait, Mr. John, listen.
Mm-hmm.
If I have, let's say, a manifesto, something which you don't want to hear about, the word manifesto, and the manifesto states clearly the stuff that you promised to make, to provide, to do as a president of the nation, and then when you come, you fail the people. You don't actually, like you promised to say, I'm going to make free education, and all of a sudden we have a situation that's messy right now. You don't actually fulfill. It doesn't have, they don't need, people have the right to speak against your failures. It's not a cultural thing. So
if it's not coming from the manifesto.
Yeah.
If I promise you something and I don't do it,
then people have
it's
the
your
right
to say you have not done what you promised.
Okay. So in your opinion, if the leader failed, so honestly, kind of accept, because that's what accountability is all about. If you fail to be accountable to the people by saying, hey, listen, I promise this. But we know we have the international kind of dynamics going on where countries like Sierra Leone, which relied traditionally on borrowing and lending, and now countries are not really, they're not coming forth to provide those sort of things, right? So don't you think if the people speak up and then you start killing them, it has nothing to do with culture. It has to do with the persona of the individual who leads the government.
It has to do with the culture.
No, well, the culture, no, what I mean is, the reason why I have an issue with the culture, because we don't have to introduce the term culture in the national constitution.
Yeah, but I want you to hear my side.
No, but let's say something, Ms. Diallo. What I'm trying to say here is, we don't understand that the behavior of an Eskoroma way be to say, enough is susceptible to the opinions of the people who are negative at some point. It's different from Madabio is a ruthless failure who cannot achieve anything, who believes he hasn't done, like today, I was just doing something. He introduced a kind of, they said, the second developmental kind of a memorandum or whatever. I don't know how, but I mean, I have to take a look at it. Now, when we look at it, in the last 8 years, our country, no one, with the exception of the criminals, has been able to experience human development. It's a subject that I research on, and I produce an article on that. There's no human development. And so why is it producing a second round of human development? There's nothing, zero. Where you have 64% of the population not get. Yes, sir. So we don't, it's the human being himself who is a failure, who fails to acknowledge and also be accountable to the people and doesn't accept anything that says about his failure. He's morally bankrupt. So to me, it's a cultural thing, but we don't have to introduce it in the national constitution to say culturally. Yes, sir. I'm listening, sir.
Donald Trump is equally a failure, but he's president of the United States. You know why?
Mm-hmm.
There is a culture of violence in America that feeds and informs Donald Trump's power. It's the same thing we have in Sierra Leone. Julius Maada Bio.
They have institutions.
I am coming, sir. I'm coming. Please listen to me. I'm not talking book, doc.
Yes, go ahead.
Julius Maada Bio as an individual would not have been what he is if he doesn't have a set of people who protect
and enable.
And enable what he's doing. That's where the culture comes in. When a group of people believe in something, you can blame an individual for acting in that way. But until you find ways to pacify the people, until you find ways to control the overuse and abuse, it will continue. Take out Maada Bio, bring somebody else. As long as they are from that culture, it's the same thing that would happen.
Oh yeah, the Magais, they were the same thing.
Oh, well, you're with me. So this is why I said our constitutions have never reflected anything that will introduce cultural restraint.
I have another view.
Cultural tolerance.
No. Mr. Jao, let me say one thing that I said. I did say in one of our discussions that since we have the Second World War ended, the reason why we do not have another war, kind of that leads to kind of a global conflagration, is simple, because there is this element of nuclearization. It served as a deterrent. So when we have a situation wherein a nation has weapons, another nation has weapons, they don't mess up with themselves.
But are we able to build that deterrent in Sierra Leone?
Yes, we have. We can build it, and that's why I say that's why some of us are going to get into the politics of the country. Yes, I can. Let me tell you something. I did say, no, look, I work with Samura, and even today I had a lengthy discussion, a lengthy personal and highly political discussions with him. Now, what I want to say, Mr. Jalo, the APC doesn't have a base. If people like me, I am part of the political the thing. In a new administration, I'm able to be there, and I be a policy person. I would introduce stuff that's going to create the base in the APC party. And when the APC party has a base, that would be the peace of Sierra Leone. There will never be any war anymore.
I wish you well,
what you do is you have to basically. You have to develop the people. You have to make the people feel developed. You have to make the people feel enhanced, especially the economic side of things. The reason why the APC is not doing well is because the people don't feel they own the party. So this
I hold a different
about
view.
Grassroots. No, well, Mr. Jalo, the APC is not.
I know Sierra Leone culture. I hold a different view.
We are at a very different political landscape. We have the characters that exist now. Over 80% of the population is young, right? 80% of the population is young. The older generation, like the SI Chromas and that, they're gone. So we have a new set of people. We had war. The war came.
You may be young, but you are grossly misinformed. So the misinformation is affecting your decision making.
No, Mr. Jallo, I'm not misinformed. Mr. Jallo, tell how the APC.
You are misinformed culturally,
how?
Doc.
No, Mr. Jallo, I did culture at the PhD level. I did culture at PhD.
It's not whether you do culture, it's about understanding Sierra Leone's culture.
Listen, in my specialization as a PhD, I did culture, and I'm from Sierra Leone. So I know, but the thing is, what I want to say here, which is very relevant, is that until we have a deterrent,
you cannot have that deterrent.
And the deterrent is not a force.
I will tell you this for free. You cannot have that deterrent.
No, you will. You will have a deterrent. I know how to get a deterrent. You basically, look, for now, in the northern parts of the country, people have this loose kind of language that, hey, the grassroots. Who is the grassroots? Just like the term international community. International community is a loose combination of people who see their own selfish interest. So if there are, I'm not going to say much because, sometimes in policy and politics, you don't say everything. When you're there, you can introduce your stuff. But I tell you, Ms. Jallo, it's supposed to be down here. I'm sorry. It should be down this way. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So, Mr. Jallo, I believe, as far as the call to people are concerned, until we get a deterrent, somebody who is ready to even die, just like the SLPP people are ready to die, because that's what's keeping them messing up the country. If we don't get people at the APC, we constitution, we say go die for this party, there will never be peace in that country.
Look at the culture. Look at the culture of the people.
Well, there is only one thing: when you don't care about it. Let's say, for instance, President Nkrumah was president for 11 years. Bundu attacked him during 2012. He brought everybody from all the way to the end, sir. To the end, down, no, there, all the way to the end of the building. He put all Southeasterners, hundreds of them, giving them cabinet positions. You leave people of your party. So how would you have a base in the party? Who is ready to die for the party? And Bundu attacked him. There, yes, thank you so much. Bundu attack him. He said, you leave members of your party, you give party to the opposition, registered opposition members. Oh, well, it's for unity. Never said it's not for unity. You destroy your party. You don't do that, Mr. Jallo. If you take power, it will be Southeasterner. It will be, yes, magnanimity today. But the way how Anes Dua, he destroyed the APC party. And I make Bundu, when they formed that NRA. He say he attack about the election. Say now they get problem. He say you they give position to the different ministers. They say, well, the argument was I did do this because I want for build up this party. No, they say no. Because tomorrow, who that will fight for the APC party? That's what's going on now. Me, if I get for that. If we don't get a base na the APC party, peace no go dey na salon.
Doc, I wish you well. I'm not going to comment much on that because I'm on an international channel.
Yeah, I know, not true.
But for all I know, the culture of Sierra Leone, we cannot create such restraints. We can only legalize the restraints because the culture of the Northwest does not allow the formation of war camps.
No, there is
I would say that much I would say.
Well, to me, I think I saw something that I studied, that I understand, which many people do not see. And I believe if I become an insider where I can make decisions, you give me 5 years, the APC will be a different party. And the country is going to be a different Sierra Leone. Different in the sense, not about fighting. But there will be a time when people will say, because the whole thing, we SLPP, they bully the country is because they say, oh, we are united. You can create that unity in the APC party without even dropping or say then go fight. You go do that. You know? So that
I hope we will change the cultural dynamics for make people and think that way. You see, whatever you say, people in the Southeast, not only because they have been brought up to understand the hierarchy and chain of command in power, it's also because they get this dedication to protecting their interests where the Northerners not get. The Northerners, now God for we all man for himself.
Yes, I support that.
So now maybe you don't talk all that. I say, I wish you well. I understand the culture of Sierra Leone. It's difficult. It's hard to say. Some of these things, we can correct them without having to create another crisis. You see, what do we need for do na Sierra Leone? We need for do constitutional amendments for make decentralization very efficient.
So what you say from Mr. Jallo, one I know in terms of the way you describe the North, and that's very good. But there's one thing, I swear, the world is a peaceful and a better place. Peaceful in the sense we don't get a global conflict, even then they go and make that like Ukraine. So now
I know they argue that issue about restraints.
Yeah.
It's part of the principles of existence. Then say to be peaceful, you have to be prepared for war. It's part of the global dynamics of existence. If you're always prepared for the worst, when it happens, you are prepared to take care of it. That's where the Latin word semper fidelis comes from. But the point at issue is northern people.
No, well,
they cannot have that unity that you find with the Southeast.
Let me tell you something. We know there are tribes, let's say like Kurango people. How many thousands are they? The Kono way Mogu pass Kurango, 150 something thousand people. The Soso people, they are tiny people. You get the Yalonka, they're tiny people. They are almost basically extinct, you know. So in terms of so you can build up all those little
tribes. But so Yalonka, Kurango, they all na fambulo. You know that.
No, let me just say. Let me just say. What I'm trying to say here is, if you look at it, these people, if you look at like the North in particular, those are the people who are. You should not. The APC should not even trust because they're fighting for. They are fighting for what I would say existential threat in terms of population size and for sure say, oh, we self-exist. And so they're looking, so you don't trust them. They might say APC candidate, SLP candidate, NGC candidate. So those are the things that we need to say possible fear. That's why we don't have a northern culture. We have a loose combination of people who happen to be in the north. So, and waiting the Southeast are able to do from centuries ago, a kind of assimilation policy or whatever, they use. When you say the little tribes around them, just like the Middle Kingdom behavior of the Chinese people. So they're in the middle. So everybody else is inferior.
Well, you just justify what you are talking about, the farmer culture.
No, we can. No, well, so in the north, there's a possibility for let you go make sure, say, because, for instance, let's say, I don't want to bring tribal discussions, but I'm looking at it as the enable way they enable populations that they make it. It's like you're selling. I think saying that they exist during the second time, the Esakuroma time. How they're able to make, because they make sure say the people feel say their own and they belong to the APC party. We don't see that now, and you get to create a base. No matter, for instance, Donald Trump, I admire on one thing, and I study him to say, this man, no matter what he will say, he carried the church, he carried the bag of waiting Southern states they want.
Does that
And
man
therefore,
know the church?
no, Mr. Mr. Jalo. Mr. Jalo, no, listen.
Go ahead,
No, say,
I
let
just
me
laugh,
tell you.
I just amuse.
Satan get party.
I know, go ahead, I
Satan
just
get
amuse.
party. Mr. Jalo, listen to me. You know the believe that they say, I want no more. Oh, go
I
ahead,
know see the talk, I just see the joke, Leila.
but honestly, why do you have 70 million people in vote for them? As make as they say, because
Well, not the
it
same thing, me
carry-
useless alone.
so unless after second Stephen, unless you see, let me give you and you know a lot, Ms. Gallo. The equity, Momo with all he thing about failure, right? Momo, what is keep him? Not to equity keep him.
Well, yes,
No,
but Momo was more of an enlightened leader which Sierra Leoneans they don't understand. He may have been quiet, he may have been seemingly stupid, but he knew he had a very high social intelligence. He knew how to read people and work with people. That's one thing Sierra Leoneans don't have. Momo bin gets a high social intelligence.
Mr. Jallo, I think me still left 7 minutes.
Okay, sir. Well, this I think I can go off now.
Okay.
We go continue. We go continue this discussion.
Yeah, sure. Let us continue this. It's very important because you know.
No, I intend for do this thing, and I want that we do research on them. Let we expand on them. You see, the challenges of nation building. Now, when we begin face the hard facts like then why without using it to create dissent, now they get the solution.
Yes. Well, you know, me for a very long time, at the Sidom at the think. Now, sometimes around 2013, when I've been there scramble around to say what things I would do for right meditation, and I've been taking sustainable development and leadership. Now, one of the things where I've been trying to improve, although I've been left that topic there.
Okay.
And during the movement, see what they say, and I try to look at, in the case of Sierra Leone, what kind of leadership will fit Salone? Where is Salone right now and to the future, unless in time?
Well, now research that and can discuss them.
Yeah, and there's a German article where I can publishing stuff. I will try to see the journal. Like I see, maybe I will produce them.
Okay.
This journal, they state about the issues of Sierra Leone from the time of independence all the way to harness. And leadership.
I think I have that article. I think I have.
Yeah, so leadership feature greatly for say it's one of the biggest problems those are face.
That's no problem. The type of leadership dynamics, not the person.
You know what make I keep for go back to Ernest Roman. Unless let me represent the stability of Sierra Leone after the decision we make now he makes Salone this right now in terms of what the matter view.
Well, he did it in goodwill. Give him that.
Well, we will talk about it next time. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir. Evening. You say
yes, sir.
Same to you.
Yes, sir. Thank
Bye,
you.
sir.
Bye, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, Fambule, I think we don't get a short but very heated discussion. I see by Samuel, they say Dr. Touré's perspective. Let me put it out. And Pajalo are different when it comes to the political landscape of Sierra. Of course, as for me, I'll go along with Pajalo's perspective because he's looking, that's what I've always been looking at, how to bring these different factors together, not because we want to force people to be one, but because we have to accept who they are and create room for them to operate where they can operate. Otherwise, we'll continue to diagnose the problem. We'll continue to blame, curse, and complain, and nothing done. Anyway, Una, thank you for listening to me this evening. We go come back on Friday. This topic not a done just now. So Una try get people then for come on board, let them can listen. If we want to change Sierra Leone, we have to take the bull by the horn. And doing it does not mean we have to create room for people to curse, fight, and hate each other. We have to look at what is being done wrong. What do we do to correct what is being done wrong? Thank you for listening. We'll meet on Friday. Have a nice evening and season greetings in advance to everybody. Good night.
We pledge love and loyalty to be country salute. My how we there, my how we born. We sweet salute. We not for make this country fall. Mama salute. We let we salute. But this we land we love. We not for make them fall. We let we salute. Then they thief the money, then they fly. They London, they Dubai, then they buy. We there, we just a try. This day I don't come up and dry. Then they thief the money, then they fly. They London, they Dubai, then they buy. We there, we just a try. But this day I don't come up and dry. We pledge with love and loyalty to be country salute. My how we there, my how we born. We sweet salute. We not for make this country fall. Mama salute. We let we salute. And this we land we love. We not for make them fall. We let we salute. And this we land we love. We not for make them fall. We salute.
For the wreck the country, for the wreck the country. It's a witch. For the wreck the country, for the wreck the country. I guess I carpets, Gaman Keraka, Gaman Konica, Gaman Keraka, Jamucham, Gaman Monica, Kaipom, Gaman Konica, for the wreck the country, for the wreck the country. It's a witch. For the wreck the country, for the wreck the country. And they go and they beg. Then come and shake. The people that they gen. Then I go and shem. They make the chicken and the picture. Now we hope for today and the future. And the future, forgive them by scripture. They make the chicken and the picture. Now we hope for today and the future. When we cook, don't forgive them by scripture.
Pledge love and loyalty to the country salute. My how we there, my how we born. We sweet salute. We not for make this country fall. Mama salute. We let we salute. But this we land we love. We not for make them fall. We let we salute.
We salute. We salute. I say no place like home. I like it, I can talk to me, I like it, I can fight them.